Jeremiah James is one of our seniors in the class of 2025. He has a astoundingly successful podcast. He was noted in the 40 under 40 most successful most influential podcaster, youth podcaster. He's doing some really great things. He's traveled all over the United States doing his podcast, which is loads and loads of people over. What did you say? You say like 107K? Over 100,000 followers. Okay, and he's here to do this with his schools. He's been doing it with schools and with so it's only right that he does it here at home. At the point, we have some point guests, or point students that will be on the panel, and he also has a wonderful guest. He will introduce. This is they'll have time where they're having the discussion. There's questions and answers, but they also want to pass the mic to you if you have questions or want to answer one of the questions. Okay, we want to be respectful. He's going to use some ground rules. Okay, and we're going to have some fun. Okay, is everybody ready? We'll be ready in a moment. I just want to say what they're ready. Y'all working hard, okay? Because you know I'm connected to like the class and stuff. So we see you submit your working. Okay, we need like submissions. All right.
Okay, so my name is Jeremiah James. I'm a senior at Wayne College Revolution Academy. My thesis is in amazing introduction. I've traveled the world, the country, doing my podcast. I've also like 40 both of them Black people Triad. We have won amazing awards, so we won Best Podcast in our first season. And so far for season 2, our combined views of all 3 episodes is over 200,000. So and everybody else on the panel. So we have an amazing social media influence coming all the way from Charlotte. She doesn't, I told her in the parking lot, but she inspired me to start my own business when I was in a time of confusion. I was going on to start my own business. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I started Christian content, and she started motivating me and helped me get to where I am today. It's motivating me. So you all, you are a big round of applause. Oh, you're not going to do it? You introduced me. Oh, you don't want to say that?
You say what? You didn't go.
So now I'm going to the students that are going to be on the campus in high school. Of course, I'm going to open the floor up to the students at the point. So you guys are in the conversation, have anything to say, questions, comments, say anything, raise your hand. My mom will try to do her best to get you all the mic and just remind you guys. We will do our best to make everyone as much as possible. But now I'm going to introduce the students from the point. So up first we have Obed, who is a senior from the point. Next we have Tommy Bernstein, and then we have Miss Naya. And then also Miss Asani. Alright, so on the panel, we'll pass around these mics so that they can hear us. And then you just speak loudly, the mics will pick up what you're saying to report for you. So I had all my questions. I went around yesterday for questions that you guys gave. So I walked around the lunch, over in the halls, and I caught a few of you guys, and I got a few topics, questions for you all. So these questions are coming straight to you. So I'm gonna join my panel, and then I'm gonna pull up my questions. Okay. All right. So the way I run my questions are they go light at first because I don't want anyone to be scared. These questions start out light and then they progressively get deeper and deeper so that way you have to think more and answer questions more honestly. But our first topic is the impact of phone bans in schools. Does banning phones in schools help students focus or does it ignore the deeper issues of self-discipline and engagement? Many of y'all can answer.
All right, so I think on the topic of banning phones in schools, I believe that when you're at school, the main purpose of school is to learn. So the main reason why they take away the phones is to put your attention onto what you're learning in class. Because no one wants to be at the end of the quarter, end of the semester with multiple assignments, but you don't understand anything that was happening over the course of the semester because maybe you had your phone as a distraction during school, or maybe like you were in class and you tried to cheat with your phone and you weren't really paying attention to what was being taught, so you missed the lesson. You just used your phone to get by. And also, phones do help mitigate some schools like more petty problems, like recording fights, texting people to make drama happen, and things of that nature. It just takes away a level of things we don't need in school. It takes
Hey, y'all. Okay, so I'm 28 years old, and I remember being in high school. And like banning phones, honestly, isn't the issue, it's the people. So it's like y'all need self-control and discipline. Because the phone's just like good, because you can connect with other people, and if you need help, obviously outside of the test, that you don't want to cheat, but you want to do the right thing, you can communicate with other people, use it the right way. So imagine just focusing. That should be the biggest thing. Put all your focus into school. And when you have friends, there's a time and a place for everything. Banning the phones, honestly, in my opinion, is pointless. They need to teach self-discipline. So, this is why I'm here today to give you guys a different perspective. Like, if I could go back to school, high school, I would be more focused. I would put more time into my studies instead of my friends. Because at the end of the day, you want a good graduation, you want to graduate well, you want a good college to go to. Those things matter. Being cute is cool, but being focused is better.
I totally agree with what you're saying. I do believe that, it's a selfish thing because then many calls, I feel like it makes kids more sneaky, like, you know, have the phone, keep my book bag, or let me hide my secure, let me hide your secure. When if it was against y'all in the first place, you would be able to know, okay, I can use it here and I can use it here. You know, like, we're growing into adults, so I feel like we should know when and when not to do something. And I feel like, okay, we're in tax shit on our homes, but you being told not to do something makes you do it even more. So like, I'm in tax with my mom. I'm not supposed to, but they told me not to, so I'm going to do that anyway. Instead of giving you the option, hey, like, y'all can have your phones, it's not now, maybe last 15 minutes after school or something like that. You'll be more likely to pay attention. So within that last 15 minutes, I know I can have my phone. No, be okay.
Also, not found out that there was a phone ban. I came to GCC and it was like, you got to put your phone in the box. I'm like, what? I'm coming to all the way from GCC in college. I got to come back to pick up my brother for like 15 minutes after my phone in the box. No way. I think it's if the student and if the school taught self-discipline and self-control, like Ms. Worldwide said, I think the phone ban is pointless. If we taught life skills and if students did their job on learning how to be adults, because high school is basically that preparation phase for adulthood. You're supposed to be learning how to be an adult. You're supposed to learn how to control yourself, how to be who you are, how to do what you want to do in high school. You still have the safety net of your household, but you have the freedom as a high school student to learn and experiment and be who you want to be. So if we just learn and we was all accountable and we learn self-control, I do agree that the phone ban is kind of pointless.
Well, my own main is that teaching self-control is you want to be able to control how you move, what you do. You will have control of yourself. But when someone else breaking the rules, and you see them do it with no consequences, some of the time you'll be like, well, if so-and-so's doing this and not getting caught, not getting in trouble, why do I have to do this? And life is harder for me, and it's like, they want to be about. They're doing whatever on their own, they're on their they're not learning, nothing happens. I gotta do this, it's situation, and then boom. Now,
Let me ask you a question. If you see someone preparing to jump off a bridge, are you gonna be like, hey, you know, there's water down there. Let me jump off too. Are you gonna do that? No, right. Okay. So if someone's breaking the rules and I see them, they're not getting in trouble. Am I saying tell the person? No. But am I gonna say fall into the behavior of doing what they're doing? No. You shouldn't copy somebody just because they're able to bend the rules, break the rules a little bit. You should stay accountable to yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's all I can control. If I know I have 100% control over myself, that's all I can do. If my friend wants to break the rule, let her. It's not my problem. She gonna deal with the consequences whenever they come. But I think the real thing is you gotta be accountable to yourself. Would you want to get in trouble just because somebody else is breaking the rule and they're getting away with it?
I think what you said.
I got a good point. I like what you said. I actually like your perspective because it's like, I think you're trying to say if they see other people doing it, granted, like you said, you don't want to jump too, but it can influence them like, dang, maybe I can too. But you gotta look at it from this perspective. There's such thing as natural consequences. Even if they don't get caught or told on, natural consequences. They may not pass that class, but you did. That's why you focus on you and what you got going on. What nobody else has going on, got nothing to do with you because they're gonna suffer again. So as long as you're following the rules and doing what you have to do, that's all that matters. But I do like your perspective.
Definitely. I'm gonna ask our next question if nobody else on the panel wants to say anything. We good? Okay. So our next question falls into the category of teenage relationships, and it has two questions. Okay. Now, again, feel free if you want to say something. We have a mic, and we'll bring you this mic so everybody can hear you. But we want to make sure you guys have the floor to speak. All right. So our next question is teenage relationships. How do teenage relationships shape our emotional development, and what long-term impact can they have on us?
Hi guys. I personally feel like teenage relationships, like early teenage relationships, like freshman, sophomore, you know nothing. You think you know it all, but you know nothing. Nothing in your relationship is shaping nothing. You're gonna do everything stupid for no reason. Juniors and seniors, every relationship that you get into, you think is so serious. It probably isn't. And I'm only saying that because a lot of you base your emotions off of what you think you know. You have no safety net at home. It isn't a safety net. The structure that you've built at home is what you built yourself. A lot of you don't have a father. I don't have a father. A lot of you don't have a mother. My mother isn't around. So a lot of the things that you make yourself believe this is right, this is true, is because you taught yourself that. You're telling yourself that because of what you've seen around you. So if you get into a relationship with someone else who probably does have them, or probably does, probably does not, you are both feeding each other these things, and you're still young. Your brain isn't done growing, and neither are you, but you're believing everything because you're grown, I'm grown, we grown, and we grown. 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 Okay, I'm just playing, but everybody thinks they're grown when you're a kid, but it's like everything that you think you know, you literally don't know it. And a relationship makes you think you know so much more because you have to be a person that you're not because of the person that you're with.
I would say you have to be accountable for yourself. Again, in a relationship, it's two people striving for a common goal. Always make sure that common goal is communicated effectively. Communication starts when the message the person is trying to send is properly received by the other person. It doesn't start when I start talking. It doesn't start if the person says, I'm listening. It starts when what I'm trying to communicate to you is properly received. When you receive exactly what I'm trying to say, that is when communication starts. So always make sure that the goal, the common goal between you and the other person, whoever that may be, is common and that you're working towards that goal. And then being accountable for yourself, you cannot control another person. You can't make them treat you how you deserve to be treated. You can't make them see your value. You cannot make them love you the way you want to be loved. But what you can do is if you're not being treated the right way in a relationship, walk away. That's all you gotta do. Am I saying it's easy to walk away? No. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you done develop a deep connection with somebody, they like, I just can't leave. But at the end of the day, you gotta make sure you, the person that started, the person that you are accountable for is okay. And if you're not okay in a situation, you gotta go. Oh, anybody else want to answer this?
I feel like people, they try to put their trust in relationships, like they don't really know how to love themselves or what self-love is. And honestly, I feel like it would help them, like, if they get a relationship with God, because that's somebody who is gonna love you, like unconditionally, unlike people, they can love you with conditions of loving you, not really truly for who you are. But his love is gonna be loving anybody else just because of the person he is.
Yeah.
I feel like you ain't like that person. You know, y'all love y'all figure to life is great, you're in love. But when you start dating for 6, 8, 9, a year, 2 years, and it's like, well, I'm dating this person. Also, I have life. You have to balance the two, and you have to make sure that what you're doing is still like right with your partner, you know, like both push the same thing. You got a partner, and y'all may not be going to the same places, and it will really tear you up because in that relationship, you may start to lose like feelings, things of that nature. You don't know what to do. Like you just said, you're building a deep connection with the person, and you may not want to leave. But that's what I'm saying. You are young. You have a whole life. Right? That's a finish is gonna be 25 and 25. So you got time. I understand your love, you know, you feel like everything's going great, but you gotta sit back and think, how is my life gonna be in 5 years if I still stick in this relationship with my feelings not being all the way right?
Anybody in the crowd want to say something? Question, anything?
Nobody in the crowd.
Nobody? All right, we're good. My next question is, what are the biggest mistakes young people make in relationships and how can they avoid it?
I would say the biggest mistake that a lot of young people make in choosing their partner at a young age, you're choosing for your now and not your later. I always tell people your purpose before your person. Know where you're going in life, know what you're gonna do, because that way you and your person will be aligned. You don't want to be in love now and disconnect in your latter years. You waste all that time. Take your time. It's not a rush. There's plenty of people out here. Be friends first. You don't have to fall in love first. That's lust. Get to know the person. Connect with their mental. Know who they are. Once again, if I could go back to being in high school, I would focus on my purpose, knowing who I am, knowing where I'm going, and then I could think about dating somebody. That is the coolest thing you could do. Finding yourself first.
I feel like the biggest mistake we make, especially as young people and getting into relationships, is that we rush into things a lot. I feel like we kind of look at like what other people are doing. Oh, my friend is in a relationship. Oh, I want to do that too. We can go on double dates. But it's just like, what is your actual reason for like wanting to do that? Because I feel like, I mean, it goes two ways. Like either you can learn a lesson or like, how do I see? Like we get older and the way that you were treated, like in the relationship you were in when you were younger, you're gonna reflect it off. Like, and it can become toxic, or you could take that as a lesson that you learned and you can do better. But I feel like we like to rush into things a lot, and we don't really like take the time to slow down and see like if what we're doing is really what we need. Because, like I said, there's other influences out here that may affect what you want to do, or like if you want to get into that relationship or not. But like, is that really what's going to benefit us in that moment? Like, is that really what we want to do right now? Please be mature when I say this, because a lot of my very mature age. But you said no country, like PG. Okay. I feel like the biggest mistake that a lot of young people make is taking intimacy to another level, a level that a lot of you know nothing about. I feel like maybe like I don't know what it was for y'all. I cannot speak from anyone's personal experience, but being a young person and seeing it amongst my peers,
one thing that is very common in this generation is sex, lust for younger children, like on each other, and a lot of it with a lot of people too. And it's like it's crazy because our parents don't believe us. And when we go home and tell our mom, like, yeah, mom, such and such just broke up with such and such, she's like, wow, wasn't she just with such a, we're like, yeah, didn't she just, yeah, that yeah, like, y'all really don't play. Y'all don't, I just,
That's real.
Say what you need to say. I like it. Being honest, that's what you want. My answer would be in the Bible, it talks about lust. Lust is one of like the most popular sins in our day and age. Like lust is popular. If you go on the internet, you'll find something that makes you lust. You go in person, you'll find something that makes you lust. Like lusting is so easy that when you're going for a relationship, you'll find yourself in lust with another person and not in love with another person. You'll want their body, or you'll want what they can provide you, but not the person. You want what benefits you instead of what you and that person can build together. I would say the biggest mistake we make as young people in relationships is being in lust with one another and then not being able to control ourselves and more than likely destroying another person to a point where they don't need to be destroyed. That would be my biggest answer. That would be my answer to the biggest mistake we make. Is you gotta learn how to control ourselves so that we're not out here just affecting a bunch of other people. Because when you're in a relationship, you're making it to us feel like I love you. When you're telling this person that you love them, and then the other person really does love you. Knowing deep down, you might have all three motives. Making that person believe in something that's not real, and then when it's time for it to be done, they're destroyed because you told them you love them the whole time. And then when they find out it was love, they got to deal with the consequences that it comes. They got to deal with the consequences of redoing themselves from scratch.
Thanks for the gentleman. I wanted to piggyback off that and say, tell all of you know the difference between lust and love. Lust takes, love gives. That's the simplest way to put it. If the world was together, no one would be empty because we just give it to one another. So that's how you know if you want to check your own sick and ask yourself, what do I want for this person? You're not too young to figure out who you are and what you want. Don't let nobody silence you because you're young. Sit there and listen. God is always speaking to you. It's just a matter of who listens.
Falls into the category of how to set yourself apart as a team. What habits and mindsets separate successful teenagers from those who struggle to find their path?
Okay. So my answer to this question is very simple. Last year when I was in 11th grade, I was attending GCCC through the enrollment program. Over the summer, I failed all my classes and I came back during my seniors. Many of you, some people know that, some people don't. But what I can say, what held me back from being a successful teenager was not understanding how important it was for me to get my work done on time. Save, maybe not spend too much time with my friends. Really lock in on my assignments and get my work done. Because you'll never know what kind of opportunity you had until it's taken away from you. You'll never know what you had until you lost it.
I would say the fear of failure. For me, it took me so long to like fully get started and like go what I believe in, go 100% in, was my fear of failure. I believe that failure was a final destination and not something that pushes you forward for success. The main difference between successful people who make a ton of money and get whatever they want in life and the people who are just scraping by instead of living is their mindset of failure. They don't view failure as a final option. If you want to be successful in basketball, you gotta be in it work. You gotta, if you want to be successful at business, you gotta be working on business. You gotta be networking. You gotta be doing these things that you'll see failure. You won't ever have a perfect game for a basketball player. You won't ever have a perfect game and have all the skill set. You may miss a bunch of shots. You may miss the game winning shot. But that failure will be like, okay, I missed the game winning shot. I might trade you with the game winning shot. I'm gonna get these and practice these shots. That way, next time it comes to me, I'm ready. Now, I'm not. Hey, I guess. Well, I hate basketball. I got injured and I don't play it no more. But I know what it takes to be a successful basketball player. And I'm just not really good at everything. I'm better in different fields and that's all I need. So, whatever field you want to be in, do not be afraid to fail. If you want to be a business person, go out there and find somebody, network with somebody who has a business, who is running a successful business, and learn from them. The worst they can say is that. Everybody says the worst they can say is this. The worst they can say is that. Then however they say no, depends on how you take it, it's still gonna be a no. So you gotta go out there and fight for yourself and chase the dream. Don't be afraid of failure. That's the biggest mindset between successful and people who are just living. You gotta go out there and fight failure and not be scared.
One thing I would say is the influence of our peers for social media. For like 2 years, I didn't have social media, like nothing, not even TikTok. I just downloaded it, listened one every day. I feel like social media not only influences what you think you do on a day-to-day basis, but it influences the person that you will slowly become. I also feel like without social media alone, you still have to see a lot of these people every day. People in your neighborhood, people you go to church with, or just anybody, a lot of kids your age, you compare yourself to. And failure is what you will find yourself looking at. Like, dang, I don't look like that, I don't act like that. Why don't I have that? And it's a failure sense of feeling that it's not like you're afraid of feeling it, but it's like I don't want to feel it. It's just an uncomfortable feeling for me to feel it as a kid. And then it's like you look at your parents, like, what's you doing? You're my mom, you're my dad. I'm uncomfortable because I have to go to school every day and look at kids I'm nothing like. I have nothing like. I have to open my phone every day and look at everybody that can do everything that I can't do. And you're gonna tell me with words that I can do it with words. That's what it is.
I feel like there are many definitions of success. I feel like we can't put success in a category, but I feel like anything you want to do in life can be successful. Like success is not just, oh, I make a whole lot of money, I'm successful. Like that's not what that is. I feel like we can separate success into those who do and those who don't. Because you can be successful in anything. You can be successful in school, if that's work, if that's sports, whatever you want to do. But it's just like you have to go out and do that, if that makes sense. Like if we're in school and you're saying, oh, I want to succeed in school, then do what you need to do in school. Like I thought it was succeed like that. And I have a lot of freedom. Like I don't have to go to class if I don't want to. There's nobody down my back saying let's go to class.
but I know the goals and aspirations that I have. So if I want to be successful in my life, then I'm gonna go to class. I mean, if I don't, then I'm doing my work, but like, you know. And same thing for work. If I want to make a whole lot of money, I'm gonna go to work. Like, um, every other weekend there's some type of party, there's some type of this going on, some type of that going on. But it's just like, I could choose to go to that, or I could choose to go to work. So I'm gonna go to work because I want money in my pockets. Who doesn't? So I just feel like, for us to say that we want to be successful, like everybody's definition of success is different. I'm not gonna look at Shani and say, oh, she wants to be successful in cheer, so I want to be successful in cheer. So the only way I can be successful is to do cheer. I mean, no, because my definition of success is a little different from hers and from everybody else on this panel. Like, there's people who are content creators, like that is success. Like, that's not the only way of success, but it is a form of success. So I just feel like you want to succeed, you have to do. Be one of those who wants to do and don't be the one that does it. Because each and every day there's somebody with the same exact goal that is working 10 times harder than you are. So it's like, do you really want to be successful? And if you do, then go out and do it. Like, don't be a bum.
I like that you talk about the definitions of success. I wanted to tell you guys my definition. The true definition of success, in my opinion, is a peace of mind and a relationship with God, because life is going to have its ups and downs. You don't want to chase money because there's a lot of miserable millionaires. You get what I'm saying? You got all this money, but you're happy. You got to find that within. And then your relationship with God will sustain you when life throws strong tribulation your way. It's going to happen. Young or old. So folks have that peace of mind, a true relationship with God, whatever else you want to do about that, and have that extra foundation. Because that's why outside of the followers of life, I'm a real person, and I focus on my peace of mind more than anything. And if you guys are not social, just have more lives, so you can see and know who I am. If you have any questions outside of this, you're welcome to get me. I'm not too good to respond. And I got you.
That's what I said. When it comes to success, in any variation of success, you will always have to do something that you do not want to. It doesn't matter if you have to go to the gym, if you have to pass your classes, if you just want to be a better person. There is something that you do not want to do that will be holding you back from becoming successful. Some people don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, but they have to in order to go to work, in order to take care of their family, and just be able to get what they need for life. Success will always come with things you don't want to do.
It's true.
All right, so we don't have that much time, you know, maybe 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go on each category and try to ask one question each. So at least get to every topic you guys gave me. I'm gonna try my best, but just want you guys know I'm being merciful, okay? I'm gonna start from the bottom. So our most difficult topic would be, what does the role of God in young people's lives look like? And the question for that topic is, why do some young people feel disconnected from faith? And how does that impact their systems?
I feel like people are disconnected from their faith because, like, if you're a Christian, they're looking at you like that's God. Like you're the representation of what Jesus looks like in his love to other people. So if you're acting a certain kind of way, or if you're doing something that's not representing his image, then they're gonna take that, and then that's gonna just add on to whatever trauma they have with the faith. So they're probably not even gonna want to be in it or be a part of it, not even knowing what it can do for their life.
I feel like I feel like we're some more very disconnected in their faith because what's going on around you. Like, I feel like us as like kids, we're still trying to find ourselves. So like you look at somebody like that maybe over there, you're like, oh my gosh, I just oh my goodness. But like I feel like you have to find out within yourself first. But you can't find out who you are without God. Like God is the one leading you, holding your hand. He's the one taking you throughout life. Like, he is your reason. Like, he should be your reason because he's going to give you everything you ever need. Like, you're never going to like have to need anything because you're going to have somebody there always to help you. Even though he's not like physically here, he's spiritually there. So it's just like we look at this person like, oh, okay, they seem cool, like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, they're drinking this one, and they're doing this one. Oh, but in the Bible, they say you can't drink this one, but I would have lunch, so like, I'm just gonna do that anyway. So, you know, like, but it's just, we have to look at, like, what is better for you? Like, what's going to better you? And I feel like God is what's better you. Like, he's the reason for everything. So instead of us looking at this person, let's keep our eyes focused and let's put our eyes on God because he's your only reason. Like, he's the only reason.
I'll go next. For me, I wasn't always connected with faith. I know for a lot of young people, it's common to grow up with a misconception of what it means to have a relationship with God. For young people, we look up to people as our role models or definition of almost anything, right? So when I was growing up, I looked up to my parents and then grandparents, aunties, and uncles for my definition of what it looks like to have a relationship with God, right? And as you start to read the Bible, you find out some of the things that your people may be doing, and they call themselves a follower of God, a Christian. You're like, that don't line up. How can they say they're Christian and I'm supposed to be following them, but the stuff they do doesn't line up with what it takes to be a Christian, right? So for me, I was like, I can't be a Christian because if they doing this, I don't want to be doing that. I want to be somehow follow God that does this and I'm not for this or in order. So the way I found to build a relationship with God and get connected with faith is I have to learn God for myself. You have to learn God who He is by yourself. There is no one fit all cookie cutter answer for how to build a relationship with God. God will find you in your place, in different places. Some who may be at the bottom, some who may be at the top. Some people may be lost in the middle or wherever, but you have to find God for yourself. Don't be looking up to people and be like, they're Christians, they're this, they're that. I don't want to be Christians. Find out who God is for yourself. And then once you find out who He is, then you'll start to build a relationship with Him. Because now you're not, they're Christians, they're that. But now it's, I know who God is, He's calling me this. So I'm going to do that. So find out who He is for yourself. That's mine.
So there was a miracle in the Bible. It was Jesus talking to this crowd, and basically, just to sum it up, he needed to 99 for the one. And what that means is that there were 99 sheep and one went missing. So you got 99 sheep right here. Why am I going to go look for one sheep? But that's what Jesus does. He goes and looks for that one sheep. He has 99 right here, but he goes and looks for that sheep. He finds it and brings it back home. And that's what he does for you. Like, I feel like we lose faith because, oh, we still we messed up so far on. I can't go back. There's no way that Jesus is going to accept me. But he is, though. Like, no matter how many times you mess up, he is going to go find you, grab you, and bring you back home. He's always going to do that.
My next question is, in the goal category of immature. Is immaturity an natural part of growing up, or is it an excuse for avoiding responsibility?
So, immature. Oh, we have a question in the crowd? Oh. We have someone in the crowd. Okay. Engaging conversation.
No, it was up there. Wait, it was up there.
Like these kids, they be making smartphones already.
Okay, so immaturity from a young age, like, of course you're gonna be immature, like toddler to child, and I think about 1 to 7 is the most likely, because it's like you're immature, you're under guidance of your parent, you don't really know what to do. But as high schoolers, we're fully aware of what we do. We just don't care, like, and then when you get caught up in it, you don't know how to get out, so you just blame it on every excuse you can find. Like, for example, I was saying grades. If you know you're not paying attention in class, and a really important test comes up and you fail the test and it counts against your whole grade, then report cards come out and everybody's like, oh, why are you on academic probation? You're finding excuses to like stick up for what you did. But at the end of the day, you gotta realize it's my fault. I need to take accountability and move on from it and progress.
You got anybody else with questions?
I think it's good.
So, I would like to see is immaturity is something we all go through. It doesn't matter how like old you are, how young you are. You have to go through it. The main problem with being immature is when you have ignorance. Being immature is one thing, but having ignorance is another. When you know you are not supposed to be doing something that will potentially get you in trouble, or that is just a dumb thing to do, and you still do it, knowing the consequences and knowing you've been told multiple times to stop and cut it out, that's ignorance. That just means whatever is coming to you, you fully deserve it because he gave you chances. And that's, I feel like most of our teachers can agree with this. They gave you chances to straighten up your act. They give you love and leeway to make it to correct this, to get yourself back on the right track. But once you take one step too far, and then they get on you, and they give you a consequences. Now it's, oh, none of my teachers like me. Oh, the point is bad too. Oh, Miss D doesn't like me. Miss D is always sending me home. No, Miss D loves every single one of y'all like you're her own child. The problem is you show Miss D too much ignorance and you're too immature, knowing what you're doing is wrong. Miss D has no choice but to send you home. She has no choice but to. But when you understand that, yeah, I'm a kid, I can act wild sometimes, but sometimes I need to reel it in and lock in, then I promise you this school will be 1,000 times better. I learned the hard way. So I'm trying to help y'all before it's too late for y'all and something happens to y'all and, well, you're cooked. So we're done.
So this is our last question, so we're gonna give Harmony the chance to answer the question. And then after, we do have to wrap up, you guys have dismissal, the bus out high. I want to make sure everybody gets home safe, so I'm not gonna run over and make sure nobody gets
I feel like in the school setting reflects off of your own life. So say if you're really forced to grow up fast, immaturity can reflect in other places.
It's good.
School.
All right, so I want to thank you all for being a part of the crowd and interacting, being in the audience. You guys were amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause. I want to thank my panelists for being a part of the panel. Thank you, Mr. Worldwide, for coming all the way from Charlotte to be a part of our conversation. We really appreciate you. Yeah, I got you. Then I also want to thank Ms. D and the Point for allowing me to take over an assembly so that way we can host our podcast. I know y'all will be doing something else. I heard from you, y'all have like class or something, but thank you on teams to let them come out of class and be here. And this is Useful Conversations. It's basically a platform for young people to engage in thought-provoking conversations. We talk about everything that young people are talking about. Nothing's off the table. We just got 3 rules: no bullying, no picking on people, and no cussing. And I really appreciate you all for being a part of the podcast, being a part of the journey. We do have snacks. I think we have like gummy worms. On those gummy worms, it's a little sticker with my Instagram handle on it, so you can find clips on my podcast and everything else. If you follow me, I will follow you back. I hate people who think they're Hollywood, so if you follow me, I will follow you back. And then I'll allow this to share some information. So her social media handle, so y'all can get in contact and talk to her and watch her content. So it's really good content.
For TikTok, Threads, and Instagram is at Worldwide Speaks. You can catch it there. Y'all can DM me. I do respond. Yes, Worldwide Speaks.
I'll share it on my platform. So that
Okay, that's just my handle and things like that. Y'all can message me and whatnot. Hope y'all enjoyed what I had to say. I enjoyed you all. I just like see a lot of myself singing in the crowd, so it's emotional. But y'all keep staying focused. Put God first, study, love later, and do well.
Thank you all for being a part of the audience, being a part of the conversation.